So Trisha Paytas, queen of mukbangs, queen of sex toy sponsorships, queen of trolling the internet for the past 12 years, queen of delusions, queen of being completely detached from reality. I would say that she got herself into a little scandal lately, but for the most part, Trisha's always been problematic. She's always been problematic, but it just so happens that right now, as of the time I'm filming this, she has lost over like 53,000 subscribers. But she's got like 4.8 million, so this isn't even going to put a dent in her following, because from what I've gathered, like, just if you look at her comment section, and not just this week, but going back for a long time, I'd be willing to bet that like 75% of her audience just hate watches her, because I'll be honest, like, she's really easy to hate. But anyway, she was recently in a little bit of a scandal with a guy named H3H3. I don't claim to know him very well, but he's got a podcast and he makes videos, and it seems like his brand is like anti-PC, like just kind of harsh truths, you know what I mean? He recently made a video called Instagram versus reality, and all in all, the message of his video was a very positive one for young kids, like especially young girls, because like what he did was like kind of expose how you look at all these people on Instagram, like with all the filters and Photoshop, and you think like, man, why don't I look like that? But then he picked a few people and he did like side-by-side comparisons, like what they look like on Instagram and what they really look like. And well, lo and behold, Trisha Paytas was one of the people that he featured in his video. And when I tell you she lost her mind, Trisha lost her mind. Like, how dare you point out like reality and try to pull her out of her fantasy? Shame on you. But anyway, so she had a meltdown. She got on her kitchen floor and she rolled around crying, and you know, like, and she tried to disguise like her personal offense that she took, because it's very obvious she was only mad because he talked about her. But she tried to make it like, I don't care what you say about me, but I mean, young girls, like, you're destroying young girls' self-esteem. Okay. But that's neither here nor there. That's just an example of something she's gotten into this week. Apparently, about 2 years ago, there's another mukbang YouTuber. His name is Nikocado Avocado. I don't claim to know him very well. He just seems like he just does mukbangs and also kind of videos a little similar to Trisha, which is why I think this whole thing started in the first place, but that's a different story. A couple years ago, well, at the end of 2016, she did a contest on her channel, and it was like she'd do a giveaway for subscribers that did a cover of one of her songs, and like she'd pick the winner and they'd get a prize or whatever. So Nikocado Avocado, at the time, he was like 30,000 subscribers, anywhere between 30 and 50,000, he said. And he was, you know, that's a small YouTuber. And but he was a super fan of Trisha. He was real excited, about the opportunity to, you know, like to be in a contest and win. And so he apparently is a super talented violinist. So he remade one of her songs like on the violin, and it was gorgeous. Like, it was beautiful. But anyway, I think he worked like 100+ hours on this video, like, because he had to do like all different parts and put it all together, and you know, the editing, blah 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 blah. So anyway, he submits it. I don't know if I even found out through this whole story like if he won or not, but he got her attention with that video. So she left a comment on his videos, like just praising him and saying that she like adores him and she's adored him for some time. And honestly, I think she was lying. But Anyway, but she, you know, which I think that was nice of her to go and like praise him and tell him all these nice things or whatever. And he was real excited. Excuse me, because I want to say that like she was his favorite YouTuber, and that would be, I mean, if my favorite YouTuber was like talking to me and giving me all kind of praise, I'd be like, yeah, I'm important. You know what I mean? Like, it'd just be very flattering. So around that time, she tweeted him and she said, hey, where do you live? We need to collab ASAP. DM me. So he DMs her and he's like, I live in Colombia, but I'm a United States citizen and I have to come to the United States anyway. I've never been to, well, he had to come to the United States to renew his visa. I guess periodically he'd come and renew his visa, then go back and, you know, to keep himself legal there. So he lets her know that he has to come to the United States anyway, that he can do it as early as next week because that's when he needs to go take care of his visa. And he said he's never been to California, but he'd love to, just so he's somewhere on U.S. soil to get his visa done. It's fine. And so, like, she's like, yeah. She's like, I'm pretty free all next week. And then so he says, well, what about Tuesday? Because, like, I guess that was the best flight deal or whatever, because he's looking at flights while he's DMing her. And she knows this. Keep that in mind. She knows that he's looking for flights. And so when he says, what about Tuesday? She's like, oh, yeah, I can make that work. And then, she says a couple more things. And then, like, that's, like, the last thing she ever says to him. So the next day, he's like, hey, I got my ticket. I'm so excited. I can't wait, blah, 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 blah. And, like, over the next couple days, he's like, hey, I hope everything's okay. You know, like, I'm so excited. You know, I'll be there Tuesday. Like, you know, she's just, at this point, like, totally ghosting him via DM. And, but, you know, like, he still came. And, I've been thinking, like, I would have never came if I was him and she hadn't responded. But then the more I think about, like, he had to come here anyway, I think that, like, he was like, well, shoot, I have to go there anyway. I'm just going to fly to Los Angeles. I'm sure she's just busy. She'll get back with me. Like, she said she wanted to collab. We agreed on a kind of a roundabout time. Like, I'm sure she's just busy. I'm sure she'll get back with me. So he comes here and he's still DMing her. And, like, again, like I said, she's not answering him now. He's like, hey, I'm here. I'll be here for X amount of days. Like, and so, like, finally after a couple of days, he's like, okay, she's not answering me. I don't think this is going to happen. So he was deflated. He was disappointed. But he wasn't, like, on a, like, bashing campaign against her. He was just hurt. Like, wow, I wonder what I did wrong. By this point, he's like, oh, I don't know what I did wrong. So he sends her when he gets back. He's like, hey, listen, and he's kind of a long DM. He's like, I don't know what I did wrong. Just please tell me what I did. I would just like some closure. You know, because again, like, he was very excited to see her. She approached him. He did not approach her. And then for her to just, like, disappear and flake on him, like, it made him feel like he did something wrong. So she still never answered him. But as time went on and, like, his followers and her followers were like, hey, I thought y'all were collabing. Trisha, instead of just being like, well, I'm a bitch and I didn't know how to tell him I didn't want to collab with him anymore, so I just flaked on him. She was like, oh no, I was worried about my safety. And she made him seem like a lunatic, crazed stalker. And for the next couple years, that's all she did. Like, she bashed him, she talked bad about him, she talked a lot about his weight, like, just defamed him. I mean, in my opinion, she completely defamed him. And but anyway, so keep in mind, he never ever like did anything, because like I said, he said that he was a small YouTuber. He knew that, like, if he tried to go against her, he would get a lot of hate, and so he never tried to defend himself. But over time, over the last couple years, he grew to, like, I think he's like at 1.5 million. He's over 1 million subscribers right now. And so then he felt, like, comfortable enough to where he had, like, a sturdy enough platform. And also, his husband ordered a cameo from Trish. Now, we all know Trish is, like, super money hungry. And she was in a little bit of a drama a few weeks ago because, like, she was trying to charge $350 for her cameos, and people were like, girl, $350 where? For what? So that was a thing. So then I want to say she brought it down to $250. So anyway, now keep in mind, she's petrified of Nikocado Avocado. I mean, she's just a little woman, and you know, she can't defend herself against that crazy man. So you would think that, like, if his husband ordered a cameo for him from her, she would decline it because she's so afraid of him. Like, why would she give him any attention, right? No, not to miss out on $1. She does the cameo. And what he asked her to do, you know, because I've never done a cameo, but I'm assuming you can personalize it. So he asked her, I mean, I'm assuming you can, like, have them say what you want them to say. And so he said, would you just please tell Nikocado Avocado, like, what you don't like about him and what you like about him? And so she gets on acting like a stereotype. Like, it was like she sat in her car, putting lip balm on her huge inflated lips, and she's like like just being weird. And she's like, Orlin wants to see, I'm gonna give him to see, like just acting like, you know, her usual like baby doll valley girl persona is so annoying. But I would have preferred that over this, whatever this was. Like, I don't know what that was supposed to be, but anyway, so she does that, and she says, like, what I don't like about you. Well, you know, we had a little bit of drama. I don't know if it was like a misunderstanding, or like trying to act like she couldn't recall, right? Or I don't know if somebody must have started a rumor that I paid for your flight. And I forgot to mention that while she was defaming him, she was telling everybody that, like, he freaked her out, and that he was telling everybody that she paid for his ticket, and he never said that. Like, he never said that she paid for his ticket. So anyway, so whenever she approaches, like, she's talking to him on this cameo, she's like, I don't know where I got that from. I know, bitch, you lied. But anyway, and then she's like, but what I like, but let's not talk about what I don't like. Like, let's not be negative. Let's talk about what I like about you. You're growing now, you're doing your thing, and, you know, like, just basically like all these well wishes or whatever. Like, Trish was putting in that work to get that money, period. She wanted the money. She wasn't going to turn it down. So anyway, when Nick gets this, now he's like, you know what, I'm going to speak out. Like, now I have all the evidence that I need, that, you know, like, that I didn't do anything to hurt her. I didn't do anything wrong. Let me clear my name. And again, like I said, he waited 2 years to do this. Some could argue that that's calculating. I would say no. Like, I think that he was just very patient. And I think also he might have been holding out hope that, like, she would redeem herself, because he still wanted to be able to like her. You know, like, he liked her a lot. He looked up to her. So my thoughts about what she did, she was horrible for doing that. And my conspiracy theory is that if you look at, no, this is true. Like, if you look at his upload style and compare it to hers, it's very similar. And I believe that she thought that Nick was coming for her brand. I think that she thought, like, if I help him, he's just going to use me and he'll get more followers than me. And, like, you know, like, it's all about followers and numbers and money for Trisha. Like, I think she realized, like, she'd be exposing him to an even bigger platform, and, like, you know, she can't have that because he makes videos similar to hers. Because, you know, like, two people can't make the same kind of videos. Like, God forbid, you know. So anyway, and the evidence to support my claims that I think that she was, like, threatened by him is because, so she made a response after a couple days. Well, first of all, after finally doing a breakup video about her and Jason that happened 3 months ago, because she was trying to use all that to deflect, like, oh my God, feel sorry for me, let me roll around on the floor and cry about Jason, which that's a whole nother video. But anyway, in it, she addresses it, and she's like, I'm not apologizing. I didn't do anything wrong. Like, I didn't feel comfortable. I don't have to. I don't owe him anything. And see, that's where Nick went wrong. By expecting her to treat him with basic human dignity and respect. So that's, to me, that's the only thing he did wrong, was, like, you know, just expect her to treat him like a person. But anyway, so she's going through there. She's like, I didn't know him anything. He scared me. Like playing the victim card, like playing the men are bad, women defenseless victim card about how like, well, he was starting to scare me, and with absolutely no regard for like how this could destroy a man. Where we are right now, people are so quick to just jump on men like they're just horrible, violent people, while expecting them to take care of everything. But again, another video. But anyway, one of the things that she said was, she's like, I even told him, like, I'm glad you're doing so well. I mean, and there's enough room for everybody on YouTube. Like, there really is. And that right there was evidence that, like, she feels like she's evolved to the point that, like, she realized that, like, she can say that there's enough room for everybody, which, I'm sorry, makes me believe that at the time she didn't believe there was enough room for everybody, that she felt like he could threaten her platform, which, he was a fan. Like, he loved her, he looked up to her. I don't think he was like ever trying to like take over her success. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, that's how she thinks though. Like, that is how Trisha thinks. Trisha's very like attention, money. And if you know anything about her and like how she even became famous, is because like she just did not stop until she became famous for whatever it was. She's been on like, I don't know, at least 10 like talk shows and reality shows, all for different stuff. Like, she went on Dr. Phil or somebody, like, she was addicted to tanning, and then she went on Ellen because she could read real fast. She went on America's Got Talent, to rap. She's just like, it's so cringe. Like, she just wanted to be famous no matter what it was for. And so here comes YouTube, and then she found her niche. Like, people just who wanted a whole lot of attention could get it now. And like I said, people are willing to watch like hot messes. And so welcome to YouTube. But anyway, so she never addressed like how she defamed him. She only addressed ghosting him. And then her excuses were like, well, I mean, it's just LA, it's the business. Like, that's what people do. Like, so you get ghosted. Just, people ignore you. Move on. And again, like, if that was the only thing she did, like, if she just ghosted him, okay, fair enough. But she didn't. To not look bad, she made him look horrible. So that none of her, she didn't want to lose those followers, because it's very like, YouTube is very follower driven. Like, honestly, like your followers, your platform that you build, that is what makes your career. So, and it can get kind of fickle. Like, people will, if you lose that support, then it's gone. Now you got to go get a job. You know what I mean? And she ain't gonna do that. So anyway, so like I said, that was her explanation. That was her addressing it. And then she was very very arrogant. Like, the title of that video was, I'm canceled again. See, because by this point she's losing subscribers. I think she lost like 30,000 subscribers at that point. And she was kind of like, you could see she was angry at the people who unsubscribed, but she was trying to act like she didn't care. Like, she's so unbothered, right? She's all like, I don't care, y'all can unsubscribe, I don't owe anybody anything. And but just still trying to like play up the breakup, like, but don't forget I'm a victim. And then like still not, still trying to make it look like Nick is a bad like stalker, and he wasn't. So Peter Mon made a video day before yesterday, and he addressed it. And honestly, like, I love Peter Mon, and there's been several times that I've been like proud to follow Peter Mon, but I was never more proud than when I saw that video, because like, even though Peter recently, like in the last couple months, did a collab with Trisha, he was very fair, he was unbiased, and he was like, like, I'm disappointed in the way she handled this. Trisha, you owe Nick an apology. And so that was that. Well, then Trisha comes out with another video. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah. Last night or this morning, Trisha comes out with another like video, and it says, addressing all of my lies. And at first I was like, oh God, here we go. Now she's just gonna try to smooth all this over, because now she's lost greater than 50,000 subs. Now she's gonna lie and say like, oh, I learned my lesson, I'm so sorry. And if you thought that, you would be wrong, because after doubling down the other day with her explanation video, in this video addressing all my lies, she tripled down. She tripled down and is still like vehemently denying any wrongdoing on her part. And she's still like being arrogant to subscribers, and, you know, basically saying like, hey, you know, I don't care if y'all follow me. If you want to follow me, like, y'all can't tell me what to do or how to think or, you know, whatever. And she's still saying like, this is the last time I'm addressing it. I don't owe him an apology. Like, Trisha is so detached from reality that she can't even, she won't see what she did wrong. So honestly, like, my thoughts, I'm glad she didn't apologize, because if she did, it would just be so empty. She does not think she did anything wrong. She believes her own lies. It's insane. And it would just be to try to like recoup some of her losses. And I still think she's gonna do it though. If it keeps getting worse, like her losing her subscribers and people still ragging on her, I think she's gonna give some kind of forced BS apology, and then it'll just be completely insincere. And either way, Nick, you're not gonna get any closer from this. Like, if you by some chance watch this video, you're not gonna ever get what you want. Peter was right. Like, you're never gonna get what you want from Trisha. She's not capable. She doesn't have it in her to own up to what she did wrong. Like, Trisha deals with her problems by like acting like they don't exist. Like I said, when, you know, she stuffs like 10,000 calories down her snout in a mukbang, and then like later on she'll do a video about, oh, like, I don't know why I'm overweight and I need to lose weight, and like she just wants, like, she wants her problems to go away. She tries to just act like, you know, she goes and gets lipo instead of like actually losing weight, because she can't deal with problems. And I think the biggest thing that Nick did wrong to her, I don't think we would think that he's wrong, but Trisha, I think, believes that, I think that she feels like he's attacking her because she's used to her problems just going away, or her just being able to just completely ignore him. And Nick is not going away. Like, this is a problem that she's got to face, and she's upset about it. Like, so I think she feels personally attacked by him because he's trying to make her own up to her crap, you know? I'm going to close this video in a minute, and I just want to say, like, she's just a shitty person, you know? Like, she just is. And she tries to act like she's this champion for women's rights, and she cares so much about young girls, and no, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. She completely over-sexualizes herself. She only talks about women and young girls when it's convenient for her. You know, like when she's trying to look like a victim with Nick. Like, oh, I'm a girl, I'm a woman, like, you know, he's trying to hurt me. No, ma'am, that's not how that works. Also, she's detached from reality. Like, she broke up with Jason Nash one time because he said that they were both fat. He's like, we're fat, you know, whatever. And Trish, if by some chance you see this video, honey, you are fat. I'm not being ugly about it. I'm not bashing you for it. But truth is truth. Like, you need to lose weight. If you're unhappy with your weight, then you need to lose it. It's not just going to go away. Stop trying to force the rest of the world to accept you as attractive when A, you don't even believe you're attractive, but B, you're overweight. Like, that's not the most desirable thing. And I'm not saying that I'm overweight. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, I'm not saying that, like, I'm not fat shaming anybody. But whenever you're overweight and you know you need to do something about it, stop trying to make society conform to that. Like, if you need to lose some weight, just lose it. Live in reality, live in the present, lose the weight. No, nobody should be able to like harass you and bully you for it, but just stating the obvious, you are overweight, that's not harassment, that's not bullying. Like, it's literally facts. Like, you can't dispute like real logic. Who does that? I think I covered everything I wanted to cover. Like, oh, thank God Jason Nash is free. Thank you, Jesus, Jason Nash is free. Bless his heart. Like, I felt so bad for him. I think he was like being held captive by her. He didn't know how to break up with her because she's insane. And God knows what she would have tried to do to him. So like, I felt really, really bad for Jason, especially like the last 6 months they were together. I watch his videos here and there, and he looks a lot better. He looks happier, and just the way it is. And this isn't to like shame Trish or, you know, be mean to Trish. Like, listen, sometimes you have to come to grips with reality, and it hurts sometimes. But the truth is the truth is the truth. Like, it's not gonna go away because you don't like it or it's hard to confront. Listen, when I was younger, I was that way. In fact, I think that's, being totally honest, I think that's one of the reasons why I don't really care for Trish too much, is because, well, for the obvious reason, she's just a shitty person, but B, like, those insecurities and like complete like inability to take accountability for like the truth reminds me so much of like me when I was a lot younger. That was a miserable place. And, you know, yes, I finally, like, I grew, thank God, organically, like, but I had, those lessons were long and hard fought. And I prefer not to be reminded of that time. So, you know, it's hard to watch her because I'm just like, oh God, I used to do that to people. Oh God, I used to do that. I used to do that. I used to try to emotionally manipulate like the men in my life to make them feel bad about telling me the truth. Like, who does that? Anyway, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.